There we are. What's up, YouTube? How's it going? We are on YouTube today. Right there. I will be doing a write-up of and comparing all the prior CPIs just like I always do. And I'll be posting them in the market analysis channel probably tomorrow afternoon so we can plan our attack on CPI. Good morning, good morning. So the name of the game here is positioning ourselves into Wednesday. We have 2 more trading sessions before CPI data, today and tomorrow. I'll be putting on a strangle tomorrow night, right before the bell rings, and then of course playing futures contracts into the bell or into the open. Nvidia is still down. Apple and Amazon are both flat-ish on their price action. They had some large reds, but they bought that up. And XLF, financial sector's green with the bonds spiking up as well. Big old spike in the bonds. Yields are down as well, so a little bit of rotation from the bonds. All right, there's the bell right there. Market is now open. Everything on my watch list is green as expected. Oil is down. VIX is up almost 3%, which is great for our calls if we want to continue to see that move there. They are very long-dated calls, so they're not going to move all that much, so which is good. That's a reason why we did that. No, this was just updating their forward guidance. That's it. This wasn't an earnings call for them. And obviously, forward guidance to me, forward guidance, and especially in this economy, is a lot more important than the actual earnings themselves, because earnings are past looking. All right, so we had a red candle down to 41.60 right there, which is right where we've been bouncing off the past 20 or 30 minutes, and bouncing back off that, which is S2 on the SPY chart. Nasdaq's a little bit more bearish there, obviously. They don't have the other stuff that we look at. Currently, I've got SPX contracts up. And there's a bottom wick green candle bouncing off that red 41.60 area. I'm looking at August 8th contracts. Same old song and dance there. Probably in the ballpark of 41.75s now because we're bouncing up pretty high. And then maybe 41.60s. We'll see, though. Right now, we are top wicking, bottom wicking, going nuts. Hope you all had a good weekend. Had a fantastic call last night. Bookmap right up there. Big old green candle. Yes, Nick. So I'm on YouTube Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'm in the Discord every day, Monday through Friday. I use E-Trade and IBKR, so I've never used TD. I couldn't comment on those. Yep, Amazon's still green. Apple's still green. Nvidia's got a small green. XLF did gap up. They went from 33.70 up to almost 34, 33.99. And then ES has got a huge green candle here, bouncing off of 41.61 to go into 41.71. It's a 10-point green candle on a very, very large buy volume. And the bonds, let's keep it a close eye on the bonds here, 11763. Looking on Bookmap, obviously we've got that very large level at 4,200, which is that 0-0 level. Looking on NASDAQ, they have got level up to 13.5, 13.2, and then looking down south, they still have that 12,700 level that was put on last week, so we're still monitoring that level. 13,350 appears to be their first target on NASDAQ, and we are buying this stuff up already. Yep, very quick already. I mean, already we went from 41.60 to 41.76. That's a 16-point bounce off of the lows, which is right on S2. We already rejected R1 twice now, one in pre-market and one right here. Let's see how this candle closes. Obviously, I don't usually take too many plays here right off the bat. And just keep a close eye on Nvidia. See how they respond to all that red in the pre-market. I've got a significant level in that ballpark, Slimy, but I don't use fib on that. So, but it is a very significant level. All right, there's a first session rejection of R1. Almost perfectly down to the penny, we rejected R1, which is a significant level too. ES is kind of bumping up against our first major pivot level we posted in the Tier 2 channel, and that is just as big as the 4080 level from last week. Now that 4080 level has shifted. It's no longer at 4080. So if we do head back down south this week, we need to watch out for that first macro level, and then of course our first macro level to the upside, which is going to be around 4200. So that 4200 level is a very, very considerable level. Amazon is pumping up to 143. Absolutely doing its thing. They are up 1.6%. Tesla's up 2.7. And yeah, Apple's up almost a full point. Tech, once again, is just absolutely blasting. Absolutely blasting. So, looking at the contracts here, IV on these babies are down in the 20s again, which is quite low. The premiums are all super dirt cheap. Back at doing that stuff again. $12 for at-the-money contracts on SPYX, which is very, very cheap. I'm looking at 180s, and I'm looking at 160s. 180s, 160s, calls, puts. Just like last week, I am cautiously bullish up to 4,200. And, yeah, watching how this plays out. Oh, nice. 13 green days in a row. Awesome stuff. Well done. Well done. NVIDIA is now hanging out here at 179.60. Man, look at Amazon freaking going. Amazon's a new meme stock now. All the retail's option chains got their hands in that options chain now because they're so cheap. Every day they're pumping 1-2%. It's nuts. Something's weird with it. I've never seen a mega stock pump like this. This is even more aggressive than what we saw in 20 and 21. The fact that it's pumping 40% in like 3 weeks is quite absurd. Quite absurd. Why do I like Rivian? Man, that truck was beautiful. That's the first time I've ever seen one in person. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So, man, I'm going to look into it. If that continues to take off, I'll throw some in my long-term account. Oh, yeah, trust me. Tundra still beats it all. But in the world of EVs, man, I think that thing is beautiful. Elegant, sleek, not too over the top. Yeah. AMC is again going. Yeah, they are. Wow. So another red candle is coming on back down to 41.70. When I say tech, it is XLK, the top holding of the S&P sectors. XLK, good question. 13,350 on NASDAQ is the top liquidity. 4,200 obviously is there. And then we've got 41.85. Are we adding anything below? That's what I want to make sure we're looking at. Not really. In fact, they're taking off a little bit in the lower 44,000s area. Not really adding anything too much. So remember, when we have a substantial catalyst coming in for Wednesday, especially if they post anything that's shocking on Wednesday, we'll have some incredibly volatile movement. So nice little red coming back off. Where is that driven from? XLF is coming off. NVIDIA is still green. Apple's rolling back over. So Apple gave back all that green candle, and Amazon is still elevated. No trades so far. No trades so far. Let me refresh my hero. See what we got going on. And a bottom wick back to 41.70. Quick 36% from grabbing puts. Well done. Well done. All right, let that update for a sec. Usually takes a couple of potatoes to kick in, and we'll go from there. Yep, AMC was halted from what I see, though. Obviously, I'm not going to look at that, but yeah. Tesla, let's go through the top 10 here. Apple's obviously, they came back down, and they're back to 166.5. Microsoft is still green. Amazon pumping. Tesla pumping. Google's pumping. Healthcare is off, but trickling back up. Nvidia is green, trying to be green, and Facebook is pumping. So tech, again, absolutely pumping. Absolutely pumping. Another big green from ES back to 41.75. Man, this thing is absolutely nuts. 600% on BBBY calls. What the crap? Wow, nice. Y'all killing it today. From 10.46 to $13 on BBBY. Goog. All right, so just hanging out. Looking for a move here, looking for a play. If we take out the day's highs, which is right at R1, I'll be looking for a play, possibly even up to 4,200. And then if we continue to reject that, we'll look out below. But obviously, I am definitely bullish, at least in the short term for today. Everybody have a good weekend. Do anything fun. We had a great Tier 2 call yesterday talking about position management. That link is now posted and recorded. Man, premiums are super cheap right now. Still super, super cheap. Now under $10. All right. Lot of liquidity kind of squinched in right here between 85 and 60. 85 and 60. All right. There's that green. All right, watch R1 here. This is that R1 break we want to look for. If we take out those highs of the day as well as that R1 significant level, R2 can come quickly, which is right at that 4,200 level. It's going to be a big level to go to. The tech pump continues to go crazy. Tech is just every day 2%. Every day 2%. They're already, Amazon's up another 2%, 143.5. Just popped new highs today, which is right through R1 and closing, and it looks like we're going to R3. Nothing but green, nothing but green. They put on liquidity here at 41.92, 41.97, and then 4,200, which is nearly 700. So that's quite a considerable level, and it looks very, very probable that we'll get up there. Low volume, yeah. Volume is dropping off, but that lends its hand to a bullish action. Man, look at this. 41.82. 28-point bounce off of the day's lows. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think 4,200 comes today. For sure. For sure. This is just too strong of action. Everything is squeezing. You look around the market, everything is squeezing. Except Nvidia, and even them are starting to bounce back up from their lows. $41.82, $41.83. We're now above R1, and we got 41.92 and 4,200 above us. Very quick action here. We went from 41.60 to 41.83 very quickly, not even 15 minutes into the day. And already a 30-point move. Am I worried about R3? No, because that's still, I mean, that's still quite a ways up. R3 is still way up there. So I don't want to wait till R3 because I mean that's a missed opportunity. So I'm seeing how this first candle reacts at R1, and we'll go from there. But if I wait till R3, that's way too late. Already got your daily goal. Hey, if, you need to flip that mindset, man. If you already got your daily goal, you need to make the market convince you to get in the position. Convince you. Hold on to them profits. Once I'm green for the day, once I hit my target, you better have a dang good reason to get in because you don't want to give back that money. Nice, W Dog. I posted new levels, new macro levels. Ludwig in the weekly game plan. Nice option sniper, well done. Yeah, that 4200 level. That's that major supply we need to be looking at. I've got a more accurate level posted, but roughly that 4200 is very, very considerable, huge, and we're bumping up against that very quickly on the day. Should be a very interesting week. We've got a lot of auctions this week. Bond auctions. We have CPI on Wednesday. We have mortgage information coming out. Obviously, NVIDIA posted some nasty guidance this morning that presents a little bit of shortfall approaching in Q3. A Spot Gamma posted a beautiful roundtable discussion, an unbiased technical discussion from a couple of big options players, and the general consensus was that there's a very low probability that lows are in for the year, which obviously I think is not too hard to believe because Q3 is going all the guidance is going to kick in. Q3 is when all the bad data is going to really start kicking in as we as we transition out of summer. Yeah, it was a great video. It's a great video. Yeah, great video. Nice. Well done. Well done. What'd you take? Looking at Apple 170 calls for August 12th. Anyone have an opinion where to enter? Well, I mean you're front running CPI, and that's the problem. Which holding into a data point like that, it's a little risky. But as the issue here is that we're bumping right up against a very strong level. Very strong level. Meta called at 2%. A little bit grateful. There you go. Yeah, Meta's been going nuts today. 4% on Meta. Tesla's up almost 5%. Amazon's 2%. Crazy, crazy green. We're hanging out right here at R1. Right here. Netflix is straight up from 226 to 235. Man, everything is squeezing. Everything is absolutely just screaming. Crazy. No, you're good. Another green build back to 4180. I've got 41 4190 calls here. If we can take out this level and go to 4200 R3, which would be nice. The liquidity is building higher. Like every couple of points, we've got a level of liquidity coming in, quite a lot too, all the way up to 4200. What is a recession? Just had them up. Just had them up. No entry yet. No entry yet. We're still chopping here at 4180. Seeing if we can separate here and go to R3. I'm very correct. I've got the 4190s up and ready. They're currently trading for $8, now $7.80 as we keep top wicking right here. So XLF and Amazon are both kind of got a little red here, but we're just kind of chopping around. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of stocks that now that are absolutely screaming. You know, Netflix, Disney, that BBBY thing, everything is just going. Palantir is the only thing that's down. Well, they deserve to be down. And Nvidia. Nvidia is down 5%. But oh, nice. 100% on some Palantir puts. Right here, Lurking Larry. Right here. So we're in this area here. We'll just keep on grinding up to R2 and then R3. So watching the volume here. Obviously lower volume. This is kind of the same old thing that we've been seeing the past, the past 6 weeks. Same old thing, but it lends itself to bullish thesis. Yep, there's a lot coming up here. There's a lot of liquidity bounced all the way up to 4,200, and we are just kind of chugging into that level. Anything past 417.45 is a short opportunity. I think, yeah. I mean, I'm with you. Well, as the closer we get to that 4,200, yeah, for sure. But yeah, R2 right there, right there. Will be a very interesting week to say the least. That CPI coming out is going to be a very. I think the expectations, the overall expectations on CPI is that it comes in lower. It comes in lower. There are some analysis that think it's going higher, 12%, even 10%, but I think a lot of people are still expecting it to come in lower based on what we've seen in June and July. So then, of course, if it does, there's a thesis to both, but I think the forward-looking thing is that we have to start being into, we have to start looking forward to Q3, because now we're coming out of the summer season. We're going to start to see volume enter back into the market, especially as we approach the midterms, which I'm very well ready for those to be over with. 41.85 coming on up. Haven't even touched the 8 EMA since the opening candle. And we're just grinding up to the high here. And now R2 again. Here's another test of R2. Right now what I'm seeing on Bookmap is liquidity building up to 4,200. Nothing above and nothing really building below. It's just everything between us now and then like every 2 or 3 points. 41.90, 92, 95, 98, and then 4,200. So I'm still cautiously bullish to 4,200. If I see anything if I can scalp to 41.90s, now there's not too much room left between us and 4,200. You know, it's going to be a quick in and out here because we're now pinched up against 4,200, and I think the upside over 4,200 limited. But you never know. Here's another test of 42 or R2 of 41.86. Amazon's at the high. Nvidia's coming back up. XLF is coming back up. Wow. Wow. So pre-market lows last night came all the way down to 41.30. So we're already nearly 60 points higher than pre-market lows. 60 points. Yep, so the 5-minute chart, we've got the first red candle forming. Hasn't closed yet. We still have, it just opened, so we still have 4 minutes left. Yep, 4 to 190 is a lot. Oh, they just put in a lot more at 40 to 90. Yeah, yep. Throwing out the little conversion chart. I love it. I love it. And they just flipped the candle green on the 5-minute. Still nothing but green on the 5. Man, Netflix is going crazy. Nothing but green candles on Netflix. They're squeezing up. 226 all the way up to 238. Everything is. Yeah, Meta, Netflix is absolutely just straight up. I mean, Meta and Netflix chart looks exactly the same. Facebook's up 5.5% right now. Tesla's up 5%. Just crazy stuff. Amazon's up 2.15. Straight green. VIX, that 2120 is an older pivot level. That is the bottom of the channel coming up from, I don't know, back in August. The bottom of the VIX channel coming all the way up is pivots the bottom of the VIX, about 2116, 2120. And I was just notating that right there. Coming on down with the VIX coming off. We can get an LRS rocket? Maybe. We haven't even touched the LRS since the opening candle. So, who knows? Well, there's always opportunity, Troy. There's always opportunity. No matter what movement you miss or what movement you get, there's always opportunity. So, that's what I always tell myself. Yep, XLF is chopping sideways. It is green, but they're chopping sideways around 34. Now we're barcoding right here at 41.85, back and forth. A lot of liquidity here on Bookmap up to 4,200. Right there. So, $41.83. Done for the day. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Coin. Yeah, coin's going nuts too. Of course, they have that. That's the on the tails of the BlackRock. $41.84. Well, there's a crap ton. There's a bunch of it right there, and they're continuing to build. I mean, there's a lot of liquidity, phenomenal amount of liquidity just above us, all the way up to 4,200, and then there's nothing, nothing. So you've got that little bitty level here at 4,230, but that's only like 100, and then up to 4,250, which is about 100. But everything else, I mean, there's a bunch right here. Do I drink Black Rifle coffee? I do. I do. Yes. We drink a lot of it at work. They donated a bunch of it to work at the base. Big green, watch for 4190 absorption. Amazon's got 4 red candles in a row, but they're very, very small red. Almost neutral. So, at the base of Roni. That's right. Meta just top wick like a jabroni. Well, we got a market-wide squeeze. You know, everything is absolutely squeezing. It's definitely bringing us higher. So, you know, we just got to ride the trend, and then when things back off, things back off. I got to restart it. Hero indicator crashed my Firefox, so I gotta restart it. It's like no bueno. Highly looking forward to Wednesday, or at least Tuesday night. The flows are overwhelmingly negative right now. Huge divergence in the SPY and the total overflow of the delta flow. And here we go. Is IBKR always slow at fills? No. In fact, one of the main benefits of IBKR is instant fills. I'm talking the second you hit submit, you get filled. So if there's something going on, then you probably have an issue with your processing or whatever. Yeah, I mean talking IBKR, literally the second you hit it, it's filled. Is there a ticker on the trading view for the 2-year yields? Yeah. Here, I'll give it to you. Good question. Good question. Right there. That's a 0, not a O. Yeah, ask a question. Shoot, let's go. It's going to be one of those things where it's too many short because we can't go down. No, I mean we are definitely in a bullish season right now. Look at this. You just pick any ticker, we're squeezing. Amazon's rolling off. Why haven't I taken a call yet? Good question. Well, that move, I usually don't trade the first 30 minutes or so. We had a very, very quick move up to 41.80, and then after that, limited upside from 41.80, so it makes me a little cautious. And now we've been chopping for 6 candles. So it's kind of like, the higher we go up again, the closer we get to 4,200, the lower the risk reward. And the lower the risk reward, the more cautious I am on a trade. So VIX has now dropped off to 2120, coming down to that pivot point. I own 800 shares of a company. I'm looking to sell them anyway for a profit. Would it be smart to sell 8 covered calls at my target price to capture the premium, plus the profit from the shares, or just sell them outright? I guess it all depends on what the forward guidance of the company is. If you think it's going to hold, then hang on to the position, and then write covered calls against it. If you think that we're going to face a downturn, then probably beneficial just to close the position. So it all depends on the company and what the forward guidance is. Am I getting more VIX calls? Probably, depending on where we go today. So we're down 4.5% on those positions right now. So, which is fine. That's why I took long-dated calls. The VIX did gap up 2% at the open and has since come off. It's now only up 0.61. But big red candles, 41.80. All right, let's go down here. What about a call credit spread with a 4,200? I think it's a great idea. But you have to be very careful with that as well. I would go as high as you can and get the credit that you want. Yep, that's exactly why I didn't take calls with Taku. Right here, we're right up against this macro level. Risk reward is just not there for now. If you got in very early in the day, obviously you would have had a nice run up. But taking a trade somewhere between 9:45 and now, the risk reward is just not there. Just not there. Yeah, VIX bounced around to that 2120 level. Meta's still going. Yep, but they're holding that top. And now we're just around 4182. What indicators do I use? I use the 82134 or EMAs. I use the 50 and the 200 simple moving average, VWAP, and the volume profile. Those are the major indicators I use. Now, the main data that I actually trade off of, because those are secondary. The main primary indicator that I use in the data are my SR levels, which are the red and green lines you see on the screen here. This orange line right here is the volume profile POC. The volume profile is this gray histogram, and the orange line is the main POC, the highest distribution of volume on this histogram, right there. So, want to keep an eye on that as well. Obviously, we're well above all this, and it's one of the reasons why we're probably just kind of scooting up here, because there's not really much volume up here. Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Thanks for hanging out. What are the R levels? Those are resistance levels. I calculate those every single morning. They're custom resistance levels based on the data that the market's providing. Those are updating every day, and I post those for the Discord every morning before. Try to get as close to 9 o'clock in the morning as possible, 30 minutes before open. Does VIX Wix have the same importance? Not really, no. Just because it is an equation. So no, you can't. It's hard. You can't do price analysis on something that's not traded. You're probably right, Jabroni. Trader J. Taco Millionaire, baby. I love tacos. I'd buy so many tacos right now. Made 23% on a PCS. Well done. On Bookmap, does liquidity above turn into resistance? I don't look at these levels as resistance or support. I look at these as levels of liquidity, because this can tell me we can transact up to 4,200, but with no demand above, or no supply above, I should say, with no supply above, that tells me that there's no interest in bringing the market higher. So that tells me I would probably guess somewhere, between 5 to 10 points of 4,200 is going to be the high of the day today. That's what I'm looking at here. Unless I see more liquidity posted higher, which right now there's nothing, I would think that plus or minus 5 to 10 points will be the high right here, just based on what I'm seeing on Bookmap at the moment, without new data being adjusted, of course. Nice, C. Ortiz. Well done. We got lots of top wickeronis here, right at the 4188. Oh, thanks for being here, Mark. I appreciate that. I enjoy you being here. What about the lack of liquidity below? We do have some building into 4170 and a little bit where you see right there 4160, because that's currently newly added. That's still very light, but I want to monitor that because that's newly added. But you're exactly right, which is why I do think there's a good potential we'll at least transact 4190. I don't know if we're going to get to 4200, because that could be like the carrot, the dangling carrot situation that we talk about. But I'm looking right now to see where they adding liquidity or taking it off, to see if we can kind of get an indication of where this thing's going to go. Yep. So, man, this thing doesn't mute anymore. I might have to get me a new headset. This thing doesn't mute anymore. So if y'all hear me drinking, that's why, because I keep muting and it's not muting anymore. We don't care. Just drink. Yeah. You don't want to hear mouth noises, though. Had 100 puts in AMD, but right now, nice, nice. ASMR is normal. All right, so 41.78. Coming off a little bit. Little 10-point move off the highs. $41.79. Let's take a look at the other book map. That's a good idea. So NASDAQ right here, they just removed that big level at 400. They put on 425. Let's take a look at Apple. Higher liquidity, much higher. Tesla's all higher too. They've got some lower, but the big stuff is higher. 915 primarily. Amazon is 150. Meta's 180. And all that stuff is not really that. Don't worry about that. I tried shorting Amazon, but was in it with 143 puts. Amazon was dropping, the IV puts wasn't moving at all. Is right here a good call entry? I mean, potentially, yeah. We're coming down to VWAP at R1. At least for a good scalp, it might be a good play off of R1 here. If we can get down there. We're not quite touching VWAP or R1, but potentially. All right, still got some red here. Yeah. And I'm still encouraging you all, look for call entries before put entries here until things break down. Until obviously things are squeezing left and right. If you're going to take a put, just look for quick exits and calls. Look for high quality setups. Amazon's rolling back over, and Apple is 167. Very small movement here, very slow movement on the way down. What's a reason not to include NASDAQ in the market analysis tab? I do all my analysis on the S&P and just use the NASDAQ to kind of back things up. When you're looking for an entry, or trying to get exactly off the SR levels, or do you have a buffer below and above? I'd like to get as close to them as possible. Trade at the levels. And if it doesn't come all the way down and we miss the entry, so be it. But I want to do long-term strategy and long-term thought processes where it's going to keep me safe in the long term. And sometimes I may miss a trade because it doesn't quite get to my level before it bounces. But trading at levels, whether it be my SR levels or whatever level you set, trading being so accurate is going to, one, maximize your profits, and two, minimize your losses when you're wrong. It's only going to help you. Not to mention, I think you need to work on trading less anyway. Just here for the vibes. There you go. Appreciate you being here. Does CPI typically impact VIX? I'm guessing which way is the call. When I conclude today's session, I'm going to start doing all the CPI analysis and posting them in the market analysis channel. And I'll include the VIX, how the VIX runs up into the CPI the prior days. Because we've got now, Wednesday morning at 8:30 before the market opens, that's when CPI is going to post. VIX is incredibly low right now. 2120, it's nearing the lows of this new environment we've been in since December. I think mid-19s is where we kind of fizzled out last time, which we're pretty much we're coming down to that area. So right now we're just right above R1 VWAP. Liquidity is still definitely higher. Is a scalp like grabbing a call on a red candle? A scalp is quick. What I define as a scalp is the intent to hold for maybe 30 seconds to a minute, maybe a minute and a half. That's the intent, is just a very quick in and out. You're only trying to grab one or two candles, if that, and you're getting out. With your experience of Bookmap, could you say liquidity above is possibly spoofing? No. What I do think it could be, which is why you want to be cautious here, is that I call it the dangling the carrot in front of you. So they did post level. They had a lot of liquidity at 4,200, 4,190. We have now came all the way up to 4,188. Right below that. We don't have to transact that stuff. So they could be trying to bid the market up, 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 up. We go right up against it, and then we retrace back down. And we've seen that happen a lot. I don't think that's spoofing. That's just they're going to bid the market up to their liquidity, and then that could be it. And come on down. Nope, never use the 1 minute. I never use the 1 minute. At longer term charts, always dump after coming off. I wouldn't say always. I do think that if you're coming back to the 4,200 level on the daily chart, that 4,200 level is a very considerable level, and you want to definitely spend a lot of time on both the weekly and the daily charts. And if you do that, you'll see that we are entering. We did enter last week that strong, the strong zone. Which, if you look at the weekly candle, that entering this zone last week shows there's a lot of uncertainty. Because go look at the daily candle right now, or the weekly candle on the ES. It's a spinning top. Spinning top candle is 100% indecision. It's top wick, bottom wick, dead flat. Not much going on. This week, obviously, we're opening up with a 0.8% green day. We're coming up to the top of that range at 4,200 level. We did take out last week's highs. So we have to see how we're going to react to this for the week. CPI, and this week, we've got a volatility event, which is CPI, where it's not normal market conditions. It's just reaction to the CPI data, which I have no idea how we're going to react to. So we're either going to come back down and test 4,000, or we're blasting 4,200, closing above it, holding, and we're going to the next consolidation zone of mid 4,300s. That mid 4,300 level, if we actually close above that and go higher. That would be a phenomenal rally off of lows. So yeah. Right now, everything's squeezing. The meme stocks are pumping. Nvidia is starting to bounce just a little bit, but still pretty weak. Netflix, all these other names are just squeezing. GME, AMC, Meta, Facebook is squeezing. It's crazy. Yeah, don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. That's right. The longer-term liquidity attracts trades. The shorter-term liquidity repels trades. Location of the volume profile is very important. Low volume areas are the low volume areas are usually the edge of the range. Yeah. So when I'm looking at the volume profile, when I want to, that's why I use the volume profile to correlate my SR levels, because I want to see where historically, especially on the daily chart, where the volume is going to enter and exit the market based on price. Because it's basic supply and demand. The computers are going to program that stuff. The hedge funds are going to program that stuff based on where do you think the highest demand and supply are going to be in the market, which is why the volume profile is so important. So when I'm watching the liquidity here on Bookmap, all that is doing the active liquidity being adjusted right now. The market's telling us where it wants to transact, where it wants to place liquidity, where it thinks the market it has its most value. Right now, it's right at 4,200. Do I see any value in the volume profile intraday? Yeah, definitely. I don't usually leave it up a lot because all that data is calculated into my SR levels. But yeah, it's definitely valuable. Interesting comment, Maddie. Very lazy option moves. And the interesting thing, especially Spot Gamma kind of tuned this onto us, is the past couple of weeks there's been very lazy options activity. A very little options activity to correspond with this major green move we had up to 4,200 from 3,600. So yeah, stay away from AMC for sure. Yeah, yep. Yeah, now we're just chopping around 4180 after the morning run up. Bookmap on Tesla has got it all higher up to 950. There's some lower, but the big stuff is higher up to 950. And I'll show you that. Oh, where'd that red candle come from? Whoa. That's a big old candle. Dumperoni. Not too much volume on that one. Actually quite light. But that is a bottom-filled candle. Watch out for a reversal on that one. Maybe a stop loss. Came down through R1, right on top of the 50 simple moving average. Sneak attack across the market. There you go. So little downfill candle there to the 50, right at R1. And they're kind of bottom wicking a little bit. So hanging out. Hanging out. What'd they do with the liquidity here? Came on down to 41.75. They took off 41.95. They're adding a little bit down here. Actually, that's some pretty decent liquidity below us. They're starting to build a little bit below us, down to 41.60. Bought a put right before that. Well done. Hope you got out quick. Big old buy or sell volume coming in, and big old bottom wick. 41.78. Let's see if they flip-a-roni that thing. Yep. Yeah. Booyah. Flipamundo. Nvidia's rolling over. Apple's just kind of fizzling out here, 166, 167. Amazon's 142.5. And that was a good old candle. What's the NASDAQ doing here? I'm going to take a look at the NASDAQ liquidity. All the way down to 13,330. Yep, that's 4,200 is a huge level. There's going to be a lot of resistance right there. A lot of resistance. If liquidity shifts like that, does it mean it's not a stop loss? Well, if I don't see an immediate response, then I don't look at it as a stop loss. So when you're looking for a stop loss, you have to make the move quickly. So they dump it, big large candle. That would have been a perfect prime example of it if we reverse and go a lot higher. But usually when you see a stop loss, they flush the stops so they can immediately move the position higher or lower, depending on which direction we're heading. I've been using Aroni too much lately. The girl's getting annoyed. Oh, now's the time you gotta juice it up more. You gotta keep it going. I said jabroni at work, and they were starting to say it. There you go. The jabroni movement. It's got to bring jabroni to the world. We should take a break, Aroni. That's awesome. Where did I learn to speak fluent Italian? Yeah. Macaroni. That's right. Nice, Eric. Well done. Killer. When you plot your session high, low levels from the current session and the previous session, do you take your post-market lows into consideration? You talking about my dynamic levels? Yeah, the four dynamics. So what I do, when I'm charting this, I look at there's 4 different pivots that I want to look at: the high and the low of the day, and the prior high and the low of the day. So it's 4 different dynamic levels, and those are usually pretty strong pivots in the market. And the reason why they call them dynamic is because we don't know what they're going to be until we know them already. Yep. Yeah. Yes, Caden. Yeah, I enter the trades. Good luck to 4,200. Yeah, the risk, exactly. So the risk reward right here is pretty slim, up to 4,200. We got a 20-point buffer between our current location and 4,200. There's a crap ton of resistance. We have liquidity above and below. We've got that 10 wide at 4,200, 4,190, which suspiciously looks like the carrot dangling in front of our head. And the big old bottom wickeroni off of 4174. Give you a little update on the hero indicator. Yeah, 530 people watching. You might hit that like button for me. It gets us more visibility, more people watching, more people learning. I'd appreciate that. New to the channel, enjoy it so far. Oh, welcome, welcome. Let me know if you have any questions. So the next 2 days, we are positioning for CPI. Positioning for CPI. Yeah. Well, awesome. I look forward to having you. Let me know if you have any questions. Yep, so it's still showing negative delta flow. Negative delta flow. I knew I shouldn't have touched AMC. Yeah, don't touch AMC. $41.76 coming on back down to match that prior red-a-roni. We've got red on Apple, Amazon, Nvidia. XLF still really ain't moving. TLT, the bonds, still hanging out as well. And I want to monitor the yields here too. The move ain't moving. $4.11 end of day. That would be a significant sell-off, Spider-Man. And another green candle. We are just back and forth. And another green, 41.80. I had to mute the Discord sounds because of it. I mean, I get so many messages all day long, it would be going crazy. So I had to mute them. I do. All right, so there's another green after that red response, 41.81. Liquidity's kind of starting to clear out a little bit, except for the big levels, 4,200, 41.90. We still have a few more little pivots. Apple's got a little bounce-a-roni. Are the questions you coach yourself through? What are the questions you coach yourself through to cut yourself through losses? Good question. So, for me, when I am entering a trade, I've got a reason why I entered that trade. I call it my thesis. I have a reason. Either it bounced off something, or I see news, or whatever it is. I have a reason why. So I'm telling myself constantly, what is the reason I trade? What are the reason I entered the trade? And if it's because, let's say, for example, we bounced off R1, for example. I want to hold that trade as long as we're holding R1. Now, obviously, if I see things coming across that's extremely negative and it's going to break down, then I'll go ahead and exit the trade. But usually, I'll tell myself as long as we hold for this example R1, I'm holding that call. Now, depending on the expiration, which if it's a 0 DTE, you have to start bringing in time as well. So yeah, we could hold above R1 all day, but if we stay at R1, right above it, that position is going to get destroyed from theta. So I need to also say, because we're trading, if you're trading a short-dated option, you need to add the time variable. As long as we hold R1, I'm holding for the next 30 minutes. And then if we don't move up above this level, then I'm closing out the position in 30 minutes because theta is going to whop you. So, and we don't want to be whopped. But you always want to have if and statements. If this happens, I'm doing this. If that happens, I'm doing that. I'm holding as long as this happens. I'm closing if this happens. All that to say, notice I never once said, if I see 10% negative on my positions, I'm closing it. You do not trade off of your P&L, which makes 0DTs a little bit more risky because, if you hold a 0DT long, you could face a 30% loss in no time, very easily. So if you're not good at holding through red positions, then you need to stay away from zeros. You need to be focusing on 3 to 5 DTE options for scalps and for day trades. And then leave the zeros for trend days, or leave the zeros for very small position lottos and stuff. Yep, VIX now down to 2107. Scalp to 5% call, not much green, but green is green. There you go. I do use IBKR, yep. Not much flow in the Delta world. Not much flow in the options chain here or in the order flow. Amazon still putting in lows, coming on down. If they put a low of the day in, that's a pretty bearish sentiment. I'll start looking for puts. $41.82. We are barcoding right now. Sideways action. We've got 45 minutes till the UK closes. The London market's closed. The German market's closed. They are now 0.65 and 115 green. Asian markets finished red on the day, down almost a full point. Do I think we'll get a big move after barcoding? I don't know how much more liquidity we've got, how much move we got above 4,200. I think plus or minus 5 to 10 points on 4,200 is where they're going to be the top of the day is. We're still hanging out here, 41.84. Amazon is 142.5 after dropping. Pretty slow movement today after the initial big move up. What's the max number of time you would hold a 5 DTE? It all depends. It depends on the movement. I would probably say, I mean, I'd hold that one all day if need be, as long as it's not just a irresponsible hold. That's the whole reason of building in a longer DTE, is that you can you have a little more margin of error. You have a little bit larger margin of error with a longer DTE, which I recommend. If you are someone who's taken consistent losses, or you're still trying to figure things out, longer DTE all day long. You have no business learning on zeros. So go with the longer. We're just hanging out. Oh, thanks for being here. Yeah, enjoy you having a good question. Longer DTE in the money, that would be even more risk management. So if you want to go DTE in the money, then the trade's going to be a little bit less risky for you. But outside the money, short dated options, the riskiest thing you could do. More time, more in the money, more at the money, less risky. Nvidia's rolling back off. Big red on Amazon. Careful, Roni. Careful, Roni. 41.70 puts. What are they at right now? $7.15. Hey, more red here. Amazon's come all the way back down to the low of the day. Not looking good. Not looking good. Looking at 41.70 puts here. This is looking a little volatile. Lower volume, but still volatile. Amazon's about to put a new low of the day in. That's not good. Apple's coming on down. Broke through R1. Watch for this hold. And watch for banana. I got 41.70 puts up. Love it. Love it. Ooh. Ooh. Liquidity of 41.70. Amazon is straight drilling. If they break through right there, that is going to be down action right there. $41.76, $33.95. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. It's holding right here. If we break through this level, it's going to flush. So delicate, delicate. Apple still got a ways to go here. Amazon just put in a new low of the day. They just flushed down to a new low. Now they bounced off of it, but they did put in an official new low of the day. They had a large amount of liquidity come in at 41.73 and then come back off. Increasing sell volume here. This looks like it wants to give out. Nice, natural. That's awesome. Is it not better to trade the micros and minis? I trade them both. I'm not going to recommend anyone trade either options or futures. I recommend you learn both because they both have their place in the market. They both are vehicles in which can help you. Hedging, actual plays, pre-market, all that stuff. So learn to trade them both, futures and options. Coming on down, 71.77. $8 for the 41.70s right now. Amazon put in a new low of the day and bounced back off of it. Interesting. Interesting. Here's an interesting NASDAQ chart. I don't post a lot of that, but look at that NASDAQ chart. What's the 6 entries on my watch list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's DJI, which is the Dow Jones Industrial. And then under that is CL, which are the oil futures. I'm going to mute for about 2 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. So 41.78 here on ES. Didn't miss too much. We are now just kind of chopping in between a little, 3 to 4 point range. Yep, that level is, well, as of about an hour ago, it was still there. I'm going to zoom on down and look at it. And 13,200. Now it's way on down there now. Yeah. But yep, it's still there at 12,700. U.S. consumer median 5-year inflation outlook declined from 2 to 2.8. Man, they see the prices going back up to almost 4%. Interesting. All right, a little bit of green right back to 41.82 after Amazon put in a new low, immediately bounced. Apple not quite as bearish, but they are bouncing as well. XLF going to the day's highs, and Nvidia selling back off. So I'm still saying 5 to 10, plus or minus 5 to 10 points at 4,200 is going to be where the high of the day is today. That's what I'm going to stop my foot on. Friday, VIX massively down, 20.84. They gapped up 2% today. They are now down 1.42%, and they're coming down to Friday's lows, which are $20.76. Chop-a-lopping. That's right. Another red candle right back down. Now we're barcoding. Yeah, so for me, untradable action here. This is stuff that, aside from the morning pop, right now we're just chopping back and forth. We're barcoding. Iron Condor, yeah, absolutely. Credit spreads, great play today. Great play today. Boring stuff. We've got 25 minutes till UK closes. That'll probably inject a little bit of volatility here. But So we've been rallying since the last CPI. I mean, the CPI came in, obviously posted 9.1. We've been rallying ever since. And now we're coming in next CPI, which is in less than 48 hours. And we'll find out what the that number posts and what the next move is. We're right up against support, or supply, both on NASDAQ and the S&P. Yeah, don't fight it. You know, if you're having that anxiety about you keep missing scalps here, then that's because this is untradeable to me. This is not high confidence tradable action right at the moment. So we just got to wait for the next play. Watch lower CPI come in and the market tanks. Well, the whole reason why the market, well, one of the major, I'll say this, the main narrative behind the CPI coming in at 9.1%, and we rallied, was the fact that it is peaked. You know, they said CPI is peaked, and then obviously they're going to look at the next CPI to be better because everything that happened. Hold on, something happened. Still hear me? Yes? No? Can still hear me? You can hear him? All right, cool. Is that the CPI had peaked, and now we're coming up on the next CPI, which is this month, and you know, obviously it comes in lower. So that's what everyone's looking for. So what happens if it comes in higher, or what happens if it does in fact come in much lower? What happens if it meets expectations? Those are the three questions, and I have no idea what's going to happen. Obviously, it's not moving the same way it was back in. If you would have posted a 9.1 CPI in March, we would have fell 300 points in one day. But since it posted after we've kind of absorbed a lot of the CPI, kind of learned how to deal with it, we've set our expectations. Now the CPI posted 9.1% in June, we rallied. Different observations. So we'll see how it reacts to now. The only thing I know and the only thing I can do is based off what we're seeing here in the markets. We're seeing 4,200 resistance. We already hit resistance on NASDAQ, so we're right there on NASDAQ and rejecting that. So we'll see what happens. We have for less than 48 hours. Definitely not bussing. Yep. How's Bookmap looking? Let's take a look. 4120, 40, 4290 still there, that 10 point, and then 4172, but we're just chopping. So thanks, Andrew. I want to shake a Roni. Yeah. Wednesday's definitely going to be bussing. I just want to try this on. Oh, well, I appreciate that. I won't go anywhere. I'm here for the long haul. So, is it more or less experience, time in the market that helps you sit on your hands? Yeah, for me, I what's the way to put this? I have no problem sitting on my hands. Like I don't get a lot of FOMO because I know every time I've always gotten FOMO, there's always been another transaction. I may have to wait 24 hours. That's fine. There's always another play. Every time I feel like I'm missing a play, the next day I'll have like a 200%er. It's like, well, I didn't miss that one. So it's always, there's always going to be a trade. There's always going to be movement. There's always going to be a gap up day, gap down day, sell off, buy up, trend out. It's always going to be that action. So I have no problem sitting on my hands. Every time, I would rather be wishing I got into a trade rather than wishing I didn't get into a trade. So that's for me. Having my P&L be 0-0 is a lot better than seeing it down 15% or 30% or whatever. I'm still looking at the 4170 puts. And where are we going? If I yell out a certain fruit, banana's a fruit, right? Then you'll know I'm in a trade. It's a vegetable. There you go. Nice, bouncy. Well done. 1.57 is still 1.57. There you go. $41.70 puts. We are bottom wicking like crazy right here off R1. R1 is holding big time. Let's see if we can break this. I got 41.70 puts up and ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. If I take a trade. I'm looking for a breakdown here. Amazon's coming back down. If we take out the low of the day, then we're going to be dropping. But it's also a bounce area. 4 tests of this level. Man. Playing with fire. Correct, Kevin. Yeah, I put them every morning at 9 o'clock. Am I the one from the Making Millionaires podcast? Well, yes, I am. This is the Making Millionaires podcast. Welcome, welcome. You find us on Spotify? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we have over 2,000 subscribers on Spotify, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I don't know, it's probably all y'all, but yeah. What do we do after you become a millionaire? You try to become a dos millionaire, and then a tres millionaire, and then a cuatro millionaire. Yeah, live streams. I guess I need to be more advertising on the podcast about that. So cool. Well, welcome. Glad you finally found us. Three for 3. Nice, Christina. Beautiful. Banana. Banana. Short stops on this thing. Careful. Which banana means I'm in the position. Amazon broke lows. Apple broke low. Well, almost broke their little swing low. Nvidia is flusheroni. I'm treating this as a scalp until we get extension. A scalp until we get extension. So if you're chasing, don't get feisty. Code word is still banana. That's right. Amazon is big time flush. Holy crap. Absolutely smoking it on Amazon. There we go. There we go. Yep. That was a nice downfill candle right there. Man, Amazon absolutely just got smoked. We're at VWAP now on ES on the 3-minute chart. TLT's coming down. There's a nice large red candle. That's a nice candle. That's a nice candle. Come on. Boom. Look at that. Holy crapperoni. Big sell volume, big downfill red candle, 34% already. 32% on these positions. 4170. Watch for the breakdown of Amazon. Amazon's absolutely getting destroyed. Now they're going for pre-market lows, although I think those are dark fill orders, so those don't technically count. Close is 140.67 on Amazon, and look at this, already 40%. Come on. Booyah. You're already 20% out. Nice. All right, 40%. I'm going to go ahead and scale out at 40%. $12, $12, $12. Didn't get a $12 fill. Try to get a $12 fill. Can I get a $12 fill? I don't think so. Big bottom wick. Nice, Fancy. Well done. Man, now Apple's falling over. Apple's downfilling, no bottom wick. Amazon's downfilling, no bottom wick. If XLF can smoke Aroni, we'll visit lows of the day. We'll visit lows of the day, baby. Come on. Give me one more red. Give it to me. Give it to me. Come on. Do it. Do it! All right, downfilling. Do it now. All right, there's 1150. $10.70. What do we got here? Green candles. I'm going to go ahead and take $11 here for half. And 11.10 filled. Half for 11.10. Holding the remaining half. Drop through R1. EMAs are crossing over. We've already bounced off S2. R1 and S1 is not all that considerable, so if we could take that out, I'm coming on down. Thanks, Johnny. Yeah. I'm not sure yet. I'm still in half the position. I just closed out half of it, 11.10. I've got the remaining half going. Seeing where we can go. Beautiful, beautiful trade. I love this stuff. Do it. I'm still very careful. Nice yummy mess. Yumminess. That just became from R-rated to G-rated, so. Well done. Book map for exit. Let's take a look. So they've got liquidity down to 41.55, but I'm watching Apple. Apple's got low of the day down here at 165.90. And I'm going to put that right meow. And Nvidia's coming low of the day. Amazon did pop lows of the day by a long shot. They're still overall green. They didn't quite fill the gap yet, or did they? I think they actually did. Yes, they did. But they have a green candle right here. The banana really helped, by the way. Good. Good. The second I had the order execution message come up, I was yelling banana. So, banana OP. That's right. You were so confused about banana trades. Oh, do I need to put now? I have to change it to banana trades. That's too good. I got to change it to banana trades. Love it. Oh yeah, banana. All right, so we're currently sitting at 15% on the remainder of the trade. I think we got 35%, 32% for the first exit. We're bouncing off a little randomish area. We're not quite to S1 yet. They do have liquidity 4160, but they also have 4190, but they did reduce a lot of it. Nice, Star-Lord. How did Arnold get in your house? Yeah. Hey, how about Amazon buying Roomba? Some people are saying that it's because that Roomba maps your house. And now Amazon has maps of your house. It's sus, super sus. Because why would they want Roomba? I made 25% on puts, 5% on your account. Well done, Benjamin. Well done. I hope you once again, this continues to happen over and over and over again. And what that is patience leads to big wins. I was patient all day. I missed the run up. We chopped and we saw things breaking down. I saw Amazon rolling. I took a put. Bada boom, bada bing. How you doing? How's your mother? 4170. We got 30% on puts. So I hope you continue to see that I didn't get chopped up. I didn't fight the chop. I didn't try to time the tops and the bottoms. I just watched for things to break down. So patience. Patience always leads to gains. Be patient and the big trade will come. That was a busting candle. So nice, Star-Lord. Yeah, 4160. You went a little more aggressive than me. Beautiful. Beautiful. Coming on down still. Somebody's going to bring you a batch of bananas. Do it. Do it. Yeah, I'm going to post a write-up for you. So yeah, I'll post that for you. Right now, with this breaking down, this looks like a bear flag. Apple is still falling. I want Apple to put in lows today. So honestly, my exit will be determined how Apple responds to their low of the day. So I'm looking at Apple. When they're almost there. They're only 90 cents or 80 cents off the low of the day. If they bounce off low of the day, I will exit the remainder of the trade. If they blast it, then I'm holding this put because we could face our lows of the day, which would be 4160. And then if we do hold below that, and this for some reason does turn into a trend down afternoon, I'll be looking for pre-market lows, which would be a phenomenal win. This would probably put us in a 300 or 400%er. But obviously that's just long-term planning. That we have a long way to go before we're discussing that kind of action. I was in a meeting and I heard bananas. He's like, I gotta go. Bananas. Things are bananas here. That's some nice clean banana action. I like it. Ooh, big downfill candle, new swing low, and we're eating. Num 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 num. Sack lunches, baby. We're up 40%. Let's go. You like the idea for a code word? Yeah. Can you explain what happened between 10 and 1009 with prime to your order form? Yeah. So for me, we were chopping around this level. And we had already come down and tested 4175 like 4 or 5 times. And we came down, and once we started approaching it the 5th time, my order form's up and ready. Literally, all I need to do is one-click entry. One-click entry. Amazon breaks down. Because y'all know I monitor 8 charts at one time. So I'm monitoring Amazon. They blast through the bottom. ES hadn't moved yet. I entered the trade. 33 seconds later, ES tanks. Down we go. Market awareness trade. First day on voice, many months following and watching your videos. Very cool, Nick. Thanks for being here. ES is the S&P minis, the S&P futures. Up 50% on SPY. Nice, Lou. Coming back tomorrow. Look forward to having you back. Have I picked any good tomatoes recently? I have. Yeah, I've made some killer gravy. Some killer gravy. Tomato gravy like sauce. No, I mean like gravy when you put a little meat in there, a little veal, a little bajou. It's good stuff. Am I selling soon? Not yet. So I'm still watching Apple. Red, they have a green candle on Apple, but ES is still falling below here, S1. I'd love to see S2 because S1 is not all that considerable, and I'm looking for it. I'm currently up 43% on the remainder of the puts, and we are coming on down. Coming on down. 41.68. XLF is starting to join a little bit of the fun, but Apple is still bouncing, so as I've stated, I've got my order form to close these up and ready because, oh, all right, a little downfill on ES here. How bad does theta eat zeros? A lot. But this isn't that long, you know. And plus it's chopping, so your delta is overcoming theta, so that's fine. If we start chopping here, then 20, 30 minutes, you'll start to see theta really start to kick in, which is no bueno. But right now, delta is taking over theta. As long as delta is pounding theta, I'm good to go. What percentage of my account do I put in each trade? It depends. It depends on my confidence. Look at Boeing. Yeah, but Boeing got, oh man, Boeing just got destroyed. Yeah, Boeing's been straight up the past couple of weeks too. They've been doing a lot of crazy stuff except for the past couple of days, but they went from, I mean, heck, Boeing went from, geez, all the way down there, 112, and now they're sitting at 171. That's a phenomenal move. So, all right, Apple and Amazon are both consolidating here at their lows. Apple has not put in a low of the day yet. Amazon has. XLF is still rounding over. Nvidia is about to smoke their low of the day as well. Euro close as well. Yeah, here's Euro close. So be on guard for a bounce. I've got my order form up and ready. 43% on the remainder of these puts. I'm not going to hold runners on these. I'm still holding 50% of the remaining position. I'm going to close those out. I wouldn't put on. I'm not going to put on that position until after. If Apple breaks down, will I get for? Yeah, that's a good question. So if things start getting down from here, it would be a nice down day. I don't want to get carried away because European market just closed. Things are starting to consolidate. Big greens on Apple and Amazon. I don't want to get carried away looking for a huge move, but if things break down, then I would love to put on more risk. But for now, we're gonna hang out. 4 for 4, nicely done. Nicely done. Well, Tesla does have 950 liquidity above on Bookmap, so they've got that large 950 level. And Tesla's up 5% today. They're still holding. They're not selling off at all. They're at 908.61 at the moment. Lost 1/7 of my account today. Took impulse trades. Well, what'd you take? If you want help for it, I can see what went wrong there. Oh yeah, long-term investing books. I've got a number of books on my website, which you can click on the website down there in the description of the video. I've got a list of all my investing resources, but the biggest long-term, in terms of what to pick and how to pick, there's not really any books that can tell you that or that I recommend. Ooh, another red candle here. I like to read. I've got a couple of macro level books that they teach you how to read macro data and how dudes that trade billions of dollars wait for the macro trade, because that's where you get the big money. Scalping is not where you get the big money. The macro trades is where you get the big money. The 1,700% gains on puts is where you get the big money. All right, they bottom with that candle, so I'm looking for an exit on the remainder. Oh, nice. Yeah, they do. They do size big because they know when it's coming. This June-July timeframe, we're still breaking down here, by the way. This June-July timeframe is perfect. It's a perfect example of your equity curve, of the way I like to manage my equity curve. I want my equity curve to always be pointing up. Obviously, everyone does, but slow, steady, nice and easy, not too many big gains, slow and steady upward trending, and every 2 or 3 months you have a big old upwards jot. And that's what we had back in May and June. Huge increase in positions and in equity curve. And then we flatten back out for 2 or 3 months. And that's what we've been doing now. Some gains, nice and steady, slow, small position size until the next move comes. 41.66. Most of my earnings, most of my big wins have predominantly come from puts the past 6 months because we are in a bear market. And I avoid the bull rallies and I trade big on the down rallies. And then when we enter back into a bull market, it'll flip. Most of my wins will come from big call wins, and I'll avoid the sell-off rallies. Big old downfill candle here, 41.66. Everything is still dropping. XLF joining the fun here too. So this is a tech and a financial sell-off. I like it. I personally don't use anchored VWAP. I just use standard VWAP. Hey, new to the Discord, is there a Zoom where you cover how to trade the macro levels? Not the macro levels. The macro levels were a new addition to the community. I added those about a month ago. They've been very helpful, and I'll be doing some one-on-one time with those as well. I'm up 47% on the remainder of the call, or the puts. If we can get one more downfill to the bottom of the day, that could be a pretty close to 100%er. 100%er. And then I'm going to grab me some lunch. I'm hungry. So I'm looking to hold below 41.66 and come down to 41.50. There it is. Booyakasha. 60% on the puts. And we eatin'. Apple's coming on down. Goog. Yep. It's not necessarily a level that we enter a bull market, Peter. It's the macros. Coming on down to 41.66.25. How is theta not affecting your put? Because we're moving too fast. Theta is only going to affect your put if we're staying put. Because delta, if you're staying put, delta's not helping you, so all it is theta. But since we're dropping aggressively, I mean, heck, we've dropped, a bunch since that. So as long as, and that's one of the benefits of falling as well, is that the VIX is going to help you out. IV is going to juice the position. That's why puts pay way more than calls. All right, coming down to the 50 simple moving average. No, I'm not. The 200. I'm sorry. The 200, not the 50. I got to change the color of that 200 back to red. XLF is selling off. They have obviously a little low of the day, but they have a large gap down to 33.69, and we're dropping here. Boom, 61%. Let's go, 62%. Coming on down. Nope, sorry, love chat. Can you call out something? I'll call out, I don't know. I'll just say I'm out. But yeah, I'll call out something. It'll be obvious. Ooh, look at that big old red candle-a-roni. Look at that. 78% and falling. Low of the day. Let's go. Still holding half this position. 80%. This looks beautiful. Beautiful. Come on. Give me a hundy. 90%. Man, we are smoking it. 102%. I'm closing out 20%. 106%. 1750. Can I get a fill? I didn't get a fill at 1750. I'm taking 17 though. Man, the ask is all over the place. All over the place. God, look at this. Absolute smoke show. Took more off at 18. God, we're selling off. Leaving runners. So I took some off at 18. Wow, what a smoke show. So we're now $19 and going. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. Man, I love starting the week off like this. Apple new low of the day. Nvidia has not yet, but it's about to. XLF is selling off. Everything around the market is selling off, and we are absolutely drop-a-roni. We have sell volume increasing. We've got a downfill. Algorithms are kicking on. We've got liquidity at 41.50. We've got the VIX spike-a-roni. We've got 41.56, and we're coming on down to the 41.53. S3 is right below our current position. Excellent. I love starting the week out like this. Let's do it. Let's do it. God, what a beautiful play. I love when things technically work out. All right, I'm still holding a couple of runners. I've closed out most of the position. for 120%. And we are falling, baby, falling. Let's see, we've got 2490 is 200%. Obviously, we've got a ways to go to get there. Now I'm looking for additional trades. So let's take a look at 4150s, which would put us down to S3. Oh, Amazon already broke low of the day. They've got their pre-market lows, but those are the gap. If I join your Tier 2 membership, is it possible to request a phone call? I don't do one-on-ones anymore, just because it got to the point where it was overwhelming on the time. But we are going to start doing drawings coming up for one-on-ones. So if you do sign up for Tier 2, your name will be placed in a hat, a metaphorical hat. I use Excel because I'm not a jabroni. And I will pick a random name, or I'm not sure how many we're going to do. We'll see what my schedule can permit. We might do more than one, and we'll be able to do one-on-one sessions from that. All right, booyakasha. This thing is selling off, and we're going. Come on. Holy crap, what is going on? I'm about to hit 200% on the remainder of this trade. Wow. An absolute beautiful kiss. Look at that chart I posted on NASDAQ. An absolutely beautiful, beautiful kiss of the NASDAQ. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all look at this. For all you jabronis that have been calling for bullishness, look at this on NASDAQ. Like a glove. Holy crap. 4152. The bid and the ask is flying all over the place. It's moving so much it won't even move. Wow, look at this. 100%. 100%. No, not yet. I'm sorry, 200%. Oh, come on. It flashed up 200% and then fell back off. I will be back for Power Hour, yeah. Yeah, you can email directly, yeah. We are selling off. What a beautiful. And look at this move. Look at this chart on NASDAQ. What a beautiful chart. Perfectly, perfectly representative of technical. SPY is up here. Love it. All right, we're now touching S3. Let's see how we respond to S3. NASDAQ is still falling. I am above 200% and falling. Down we go. Big sell pressure. Algorithms are kicked on. This is dumping. We haven't seen action like this in a long time. A long time. So when I see this, I'm holding, baby. I'm holding. $41.48. We just bounced off S3 right here, if you noticed. Right there. Look at that. Look at that bounce off S3. Beautiful. Beautiful. Even on the midst of a huge sell-off, it still respects my levels. Whoopah. Too late to get in? I would hold off on getting. I would hold off. Be patient. There's always another play. 120% on puts. Nutty. Beautiful. All right. Yep, I go live every day on Market Open, Christian. Every day on Market Open. Y'all are very welcome. Y'all are very welcome. Yeah, that was a beautiful play of execution. Being very patient, waiting for the trade to unfold, and bam. Bussin'. Closed everything out. I'm about there with you, Sol. I'm about there with you. I'm seeing how this downfill handles. I need 24.90 for 200%. I did see it happen. In fact, I was at 210%, but I could not get a fill-a-roni on the remainder of this position. So if I can get this one green to flip back to red real quick and come on down, then yeah. There's $25. $24.90. There's $25. Can I get a fill for $25? Come on, give me. I got it. I'm gonna put an order in for 25. Can I see if I can get a fill? All right, order submitted for 25. Come on. One more red. Come on then. I might go ahead and close it. Oh, thanks, Caden. Appreciate that. I tried to separate myself from the others. Everyone, there's a billion YouTubers out there that are doing these streams. But I try to provide something a little different. A little more educational, a little more realistic than just slinging calls on AMD, brah, or AMC. Nice, L. A touch less than 25%, more like 15%, which I'm about to close out. We bounced off S3 right here, beautifully. Did you ever in your career trade the open or now? Yeah, I did, for sure. But because honestly, when you're in a normal market, usually the only thing you can do is trade the first 30 and the last 30. Or the first hour and the last hour. That's it. During the day, I mean, it was no movement. Every day was the same. No movement at all. Except for the one trend day we got every 2 weeks. But ever since the Corona market, it's incredibly volatile. Like the volatility with the influx of the volume, especially when Wall Street bets came online and the option chain went nuts. The first 30 minutes was insane. It was absolute gambling insanity. We're talking like 50-point ranges in the first 10 minutes of the day. Which was great when you were right, but it was terrible when you were wrong. If y'all remember, back in May, I posted a 60% loss in the channel because I was taking puts. Everything was great. The market opened, we were dropping 10 minutes a day, nice little 20, 30, 40-point sell-off. I was big up. And then the market bounced and rallied like 3 candles. We were 60 points up. And I was down 60% on the puts. And I had to post that trade. And then the very next trade was a 48% loss. Imagine if I posted a 60% loss and a 48% loss. That sucked. I remember that. Considering I'm only trade one futures contract, I don't have the option of scaling out. How do you catch a run like this if you can't scale out? You have to be very diligent with your entries and exits. I know it's more to it than that, but if you're restrained by that, you can't hold a runner very much. You can't be too aggressive with holding, because one bounce or one position, one candle that goes against you, you're going to get smoked and you're going to give back all your gains. So you have to be more conservative with your exits. And yes, you're going to leave some money on the table if you rotate back down, but you can't do that. NASDAQ is still falling. They got a little green right here, but they are still coming off. I'm back down to $21 on those premiums. What I would rather see you do is exit and then re-enter. Exit, then re-enter. Where's the S3 level? Right here. See that red line that says S3? Right there. We bounce right off of it. What's the LRS stand for? A Lee Rat Special. Speaking of which, I haven't heard from him since Friday. What's he doing? Big old green candle to 41.56. No, not yet. At least not that I heard, no. All right, so we do have some strength coming off here. It's a 10-point bounce. Yeah, so 500 people plus might have watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button for me. If you like what you saw, if you like learning about this trade, hit that like button. Helps us gain visibility. And then subscribe. So now that the kids are back in school and I have a little more time, I'll be throwing up a lot more YouTube content. Kind of took the summer off to be with the kids and focus on them. And I'll be doing a lot more YouTube content. All right, we are back down to $18.70 on these premiums. I'm still at over 100% on these. I need to see what happens here coming up to the 8. Why did I filter out the morning's bounce of MA8 and MA21? Mornings. Just before the chop. Well, we never actually touched the 8. We never actually touched it until we started rounding back over and coming down. So the position, the movement, the market happened so quickly in the morning that once we got up to like 41.80, the risk reward became very little, and it became a risky trade to trade above 41.80 because we're bouncing up against that 4,200 area. So I'm only 14 years old, man. My dad finally let me open an account since ever watching you with my account. Man, that's awesome. Awesome. I am jealous that you are starting so early. Incredibly awesome. Make sure you're doing your long-term stuff too. You need to be putting a couple $100 in as much as you can very often into a long-term trading account and buying up SPY, buying up Apple, buying up the Qs, buying up stuff that's long-term. Open it up. Yeah, maxing out a Roth. I saw a quote today on Twitter. It says a huge flex is maxing out your Roth every year, and that is an incredible flex. All right, so we got a nice strong bounce here, 41.47 up to 41.60. I'm about to close out my runners. They got smoked. They do offer instant settlement on a cash account, yeah, on IBKR. Lower volume bounce here. Oh, thanks, Joseph. Yeah. First time watching? Yeah, I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Let me know if you have any questions. I haven't talked about it yet. No, that's going to be in our long-term conversation with our long-term account conversation with Tier 2. It'll be some content we'll put out for high-level stuff. XLF gapped up there, and these are 4 strong upwards candles on the ES. These things won't stop. I think we're going higher. We bounced off S3, obviously a smoking hot demand zone right there, as we just put one wick into the S3 level and then bounced, and we are now going on 20 points higher. Not sure yet. Not sure yet. Am I live on Tier 2 all day? No. I live trade. Yeah, I live trade all day for. Well, if the market's volatile enough, I will be here all day trading. But usually I sign off about now, and then we come back on for power hour. But I'll stay on for a little bit longer since we got some volatility here. Yep. So look at that volume on the sell-off. Huge volume. That's why you can't sell off on low volume. So you see the huge volume come in. We sell off all the way down. We drop 40 points. And now the light volume re-enters, or I should say the big volume goes away, and we kind of creep back up here to the 4160. I wish I found Bookmap before unusual wells. Yeah, Bookmap is amazing. In fact, they put on 4170 back on, cleared out the order book below. They actually moved out all of that stuff here and put on 4170. Smashed potatoes. Yeah. During the 2020 recovery, was the buy volume comparable to typical sell volume? Well, you have to remember that was when the monetary policy started to unroll and the market found a bottom. It was insane. I mean, every day was gapping up like 2%. Every day up, 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 up. It was ridiculous. I wasn't even day trading then. I was literally just putting on long dated calls and eating and just buying up everything I could. No, I mean I missed the downside. I didn't play the downside, but I played the upside. Do I think this is a bear market rally? I do. I do think it is. Man, this is straight up. All right, I'm closing out my runners. Although the damage is already done. They're down to 15 bucks again, which are still almost 100%, but I'll hold on to it a little bit longer. I don't know. As far as Bookmap goes, what time frame do you use? Do you have a video on setting up? I don't have a video on it. Right now I've got it on just the single ticks. I'll do my settings here, configuration. Let's see, get the most data. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to hold on to it a little more. Yep, that one too. Yeah, I'm still holding runners on a put. I've closed out a majority of the position. I'm still holding the 4170s, which are still 10 points in the money. How long will I hold the position? It all depends on what my entry was. It all depends on what type of position. For example, Friday I entered September dated VIX calls. I'm going to hold those for at least a couple of weeks, unless the VIX for some reason falls to 15 and I just want to get out. If I hold the scalp, maybe an hour is the max I'll hold it if things go my way. If things go wrong, I will not hold it for an hour. If it's a shorter dated, somewhere in the middle, like 3 to 5 DT, I'll hold it for a day or two, somewhere in there. Yeah, don't trade anything that's got high IV, like UPST, because you're going to get destroyed. It's a losing bet, unless you're going to write options on it like Chris does. What is considered high IV? It depends. It depends on the ticker. Usually, if I'm seeing triple digits, that's incredible. Anything over 70 is high IV. For the SPX, for the S&P, anything like 50, 60, 70, that's starting to get a little high. 100%, very high. 158%, like last FOMC, insane. Terrible. But if you're looking at long-term stocks, or if you're looking at individual stocks, it's a little different. I mean, it's easy to see 200% IV on a lot of names in individual stocks, and even GameStop's been as high as 600 or 700%, which is suicide. Taking a long option on a 700% IV is impossible to make money. There's no way to make money on that. Hanging out. Speaking of GME, Melvin Capital closed their shorts at the top. Ooh. That's an oof. My friend is still holding BBBY calls. I told him to get out because he's up like, oh man, yeah, he's going to lose that position. He will lose if he holds out over the weekend. So. Pure jabroni. There was a lot of volume came in. A ton of volume came in. I mean, that volume was higher than the opening volume. So a lot of volume came in for that thing to dump. But you notice when the algorithms kicked on and when there was just money coming in. I mean, look at the difference in these two candles. Here's the sell-off. I'm going to do a secondary. And we'll do this in a different color. So here was the beginning of the drop, right here. And I highlighted overall sell-off, and then I highlighted when the algorithms kicked in and dumped it. And see the volume really kick up? The volume came in, and boom, we had 3 massive red candles. Boom, boom. I don't know if we're going to hit 4,200. I don't know. I would probably say probably not after that big of a sell-off. It depends on how we recover it. If we sell back off here, then I would say very small chance we go back up again to 4190, 4180, or 4180. If we come back down, I would probably say we're going to put in another low. My stepbrother worked for Merrill Lynch. He told me the younger traders are freaking out with this bear market. They've never been through a bear market before. Yep. And unfortunately, that's not true. I trade SPX options and ES futures. There's a difference. I don't do options on futures. They're terrible liquidity, terrible spreads. I don't like them. Do I put much attention into trend patterns? Not patterns, but trends, yes. I will notate tops and bottoms and trends of the VIX, but that's it. You can't do anything else on VIX because of that, because it's not traded. So how can you possibly do price action analysis on the VIX when it's not traded? You just can't do it. It's a calculation. I see dudes doing these super long write-ups on head and shoulders on the VIX and all these different crazy analysis and patterns on the VIX. I'm like, man, you're wasting your time. It's complete nonsense. And you have like 30,000 comments on this thing saying, oh, this is amazing. It's nonsense. You cannot do technical analysis on the VIX because it's not traded. However, I do want to note highs and lows of the VIX to see where the volatility adjusts in the market. Where does it come off? Where does it reduce? Where does it normally like to hang out at? Oh my gosh. He's really doing it. Holy crap. Is that edited or is that real? Oh my gosh. This dude makes $5 million a year. Oh. All right, I'm filling out an application to his network. Jeez Louise. I will if I take his job, I will use the word jabroni every day. I will use it every day on my segment. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. What amount did you start with in the beginning when you started the account that you made money in? Ooh, I think Louis needs to listen to the podcast, doesn't he? I think he does. Bam. There you go. Listen to that podcast. I started with 25 or a little more than 25K, like 25.8, 25.9, somewhere in there, and I built it up to $58,000. 58,000 because I got lucky and I was YOLOing and all this kind of crap. But that's a long story. Listen to that podcast. I told the story of how I blew up my account and how I rebuilt it. For a young trader like you with around $3,000 to trade with, how much of a portfolio should you trade with on a usual basis? For you, no more than 1%. No more than 1%. You're young. You're still figuring out, who you are as a person. You're still figuring out who you are as a trader. You're still, $3,000 to you. I don't know how wealthy your family is, but holy crap, red candles. I just got Amazon dropping. $3,000 to you may be a lot of money, maybe a little money. I don't know how wealthy your family is, but for me, when I was your age, $3,000 might as well have been $1 million. So, yeah. Anyway, red candles here still holding the remainder of my runners. Nice little sell-off for Roni. And we're now right back down, right up against 200%. Apple's falling over. New low of the day on Apple. New low of the day on Amazon. XLF is coming on back down, and NVIDIA is chopperoni right here. I think you're right, Trader J. I think he's absolutely right because we keep having these big spurts of volume and these big drops. So 41.48, they just cleared all northern liquidity. I'm looking at 41.40s. See what happens. We also have to remember we can start to kind of tell what the market wants to position itself into CPI. If we start selling off rallies, now look at Bookmap. Look what they just did. They just put on 41.32. I'm also looking at 41.35 puts too. Yep, we need volume to get through S3 for sure. It's also the main POC on the 3-minute, right above it actually. Where can I get Bookmap? Great question. I've got an affiliate link for Bookmap if you're interested in getting it. It gets you some money off of your plan. And there is the link right there. Downfill candle to 41.48. Man, this thing is going to go. Selling volume's increasing. We take out low of the day here. We're absolutely going to go. Absolutely going to go. Can we add to your puts here? Sure. Sure. I'm right at 200%. Right at. The ask is at 200% for me. It's got to get it. I canceled the $25 order on him. Yeah, for sure, Lurky. My thesis was still fine, so bam, 200%. 200%. Is 41.40 realistic? Absolutely. Wow. Love it. $25.70, $25.20. Amazon's still selling off. Apple's still selling off. We are dropping. Got to be careful here, S3. Booyah. Nice. 41. Starting to get worried about Lear. Oh, there he is. He just messaged me. Oh, he's working. He's good. 41.45 selling off. $27 for these puts. Holy crap. And dropping. 164.94 on Apple. XLF just gapped down big time. So this is the big moves are coming really in tech and the financials. The bonds are screaming up to 1.49 and absolutely selling off. We got the 3-minute POC. We're right through S3. Let's see if we cancel on S3 or close on S3. Booyakasha. $28 on our puts. Man, what's 300%? 33.10. 33.10 is 300%. Big bottom wick right there. Yesterday's lows. Well, I mean, first we got to deal with pre-market lows. That's the first obstacle. Pre-market lows would be 41.30. That's the first dynamic level, 41.30 if we can get down there. It's a great movie. Amazon's selling off still. No green on Amazon to be had. They're now down 1%. XLF is dropping over 41.45. We're right on top of S3, which is just over the 3-minute POC. Let's see what happens. Selling volume is still up here. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm at $27, which is over 200%. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Love it. Patience always helps. See, what did we talk about in terms of credit spreads this week or this morning? We talked about putting on a PCS and a CCS. What would have happened if we put on a PCS right now? If we put on a PCS this morning, we would be sweating big time right now. Smoke-a-roni. This is why I don't put on credit spreads, because 80% of the time, sure, nice and easy. But with the underlying volatility still remaining higher, with these potential 40, 50-point moves, not worth it. Smokeroni. On those runners, will you set your stop loss at a break even, or do you lock in any profits? Well, this position here, I'm monitoring the market. Things are still selly, still very heavy. Apple's right now just put in another low of the day, as did Amazon, as did XLF, and Nvidia is still coming on down. So the market's still selling off. Liquidity on Bookmap is still pointing lower. We still got 4140. We still have all the way down to 4125 being added, and that's what I'm looking for. Now, these are all relatively light, although collectively they're very large. But they are being added, and that's what I'm looking for. There's nothing being added above. There's nothing new being added, but there is liquidity being added above, which means there's appetite for transactions to be filled lower. They want to transact this thing lower because liquidity is being added lower. So I'm looking to hold these runners. We're almost 300%. God, look at this. They just smoked the 3-minute POC, and we're going. Egregious. Booyakasha. God, this thing is drilling. We haven't seen this action in a long time, man. A long time. 32 bucks. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. I need 40 more cents to get 300%. And there it is. 300%. Let's go. Let's go. Can I get 400%? Talk about a crazy entry, man. Wow. Talk about a crazy... Man, look at this. All right. So, if you're tier 2, what are we approaching? What are we approaching? Be very much aware of this level that we are approaching. Macro. Macaroni, baby. Macaroni. I'm going to go ahead and close out my runners. This is egregious. Setting a limit order for 34 bucks. Love it. Love it. Man, bounced right on top of that macro, man. Gah, we came within 2 points of it. And bounced. Didn't get a fill at my 34. But I'm trying to. Hello, Claddies. Thanks, Lurking Larry. Yeah, if we break macro, we will absolutely flush. Absolutely flush. Although that's not the Mac Daddy macro, but that's still a big one. All right, I am canceling this macro, this order, and I'm going to position it. 3 for 3, nice, Mad Manny. Well done. Do I ever hedge with ES futures when I'm scalping? Not when I'm scalping, no. But I do use those for hedging, just not with macro, not with scalps. Nice, Otaku. Yeah, 220%. Just want to say thanks. The Discord's helped me tremendously. Went from feeling FOMO to being up 18% on your account. Well done, Ghost Wagon. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. I don't want to see a bounce off macro. I'm very skittish about this macro I didn't get the fill from you. I missed it by a couple of cents. We're at 30 bucks here, but we got a strong green. I can see your point, flying recovery, but I do two different analyses on those things. So the macro levels are from a long-term standpoint, and the SR levels are coming as more of a short-term view. Which, yeah, I can see your point, but where's the macro level again? In the weekly chart, right there, weekly game plan chart. Baba da boopy. 22% on your account. Well done. Awesome. Awesome. Still holding this green candle. Do I think the Qs will hold 321? I don't know. I don't know. We've got a lot of pressure. So we held S3. We bounced off of it, came down, bounced off of it again, but then flushed it. And now we're bouncing off macro. Macros are significant. They're bigger than all the SR levels. They take precedence. Nice, Damien. 21%. Well done. $238%. Nice, Joey. 32% on your account. Amazing. Gah. I may have to miss. I'll let you know. I may have to miss Friday afternoon because I have a closing on the property. I'm gonna have to do, but I'm not sure if I'm trying to get him to push till after market hours. But I may have to miss Friday afternoon. Big green, big green. I'm gonna go ahead. Man, I wanted that fill of $35, $34. Dang it. The banana call was amazing. I will. I will. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for being here. I love you all being here. It's good stuff. I like having fun. Work hard, play hard. Is this the start of the upside down V days? I couldn't tell you. I'm going to try to remain completely holy crap, neutral into Wednesday and just play what I see. Obviously, we sold off strength. This is the first time we've sold strength in a long time. It's the first time we've done it in a long time without a V recovery. And it's still to say if we could V, but it's been a while since we sold strength. Ron Anger. Ron. I love it. Caught second part of that drop. Second, 20% on my lunch appointment. Nicely done. Close when you started mentioning macro. Yeah. I'm just here to have fun, man. Crutch and teach y'all how to do something, but thank you. How do I find these levels? I've got a couple of videos on how I calculate them, but I do analysis based on all past historical price action and the forward-looking data that we have available to us, like order flow, liquidity levels, options chain, that type of thing. So I use the forward-looking data and the historical price action to calculate where the market wants to bounce, where does it want to reject. So Oh, thanks, Unknown Legend. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining, hanging out with us. And I look forward to working with y'all. Bummer. Bummer. Adamant, you play some Roblox. There you go. Macro levels are for Tier 2 subscribers. They're going to be in the weekly game plan channel right there. If you are Tier 2, you'll see that. What's the reason for the sell-off? There was no clear indication. It was just mechanics. Just mechanics. The market dumped. Tech rolled over, sold off. Obviously, we had bad-looking guidance for NVIDIA this morning. And NVIDIA is a big player. I mean, they're the top 9 ticker on the S&P. That baby sold off. Coming on down. I'm sure they do, Crystal. I'm sure they do. So. $33. $33. Come on. Selling back off here, 41.37. If we take out the low of the day, we may come in lower. May come in lower. There's $34. Coming on down. There's $34.50. Do you think the market will ever go back to being terrible for day trading? Sure. Eventually, yeah, it will. But we'll have to, that's when we have to change up our strategies. Then we write options, yeah. Or we trade swings. Blaze, I tried to get an exit on him, but I didn't get a fill. I'm looking for another exit right here as we're coming right back down to the macro. 34.15, 34.20. I'm going to go ahead and take the exit here. I'll put an order in for 34. Still can't get a fill. We keep bouncing off this level. Sure thing. One word. It depends. That's right. No. Now, macro levels are on the monthly slash weekly scale. Do I have a stop sale on the VIX calls? No. Those are so long dated that, even now with this big pop in the VIX, they're only up 3%. So they're so long dated that I'll have plenty of time to exit that trade if things go against me. I'm not worried about it. All right. That's a good question. Good question. Hero was right all along, weren't they? Yeah, they were right all along. It was negative flow all day long. Super negative flow. What would be a bad market for day trading? Super flat. 10-point range, choppy, flat, no real direction, no clear indication of a bounce or sell off or a rejection. Only took them a week of negative flow. Yeah. Tell me about it. What is Hero? Hero is Spot Gamma's liquidity or delta tracker. They've got an indicator that monitors delta flow. Yeah, iron condors are perfect for that market. Perfect. Kiro. Is it Cairo or Kiro? I always called you Kiro or Cairo, but hey, I'll call you Kiro. Didn't I describe today? No, today's beautiful for trading. Look at this. We had, if you caught that move, that would have been great. I missed it, but then we sold back off. So I mean, this is beautiful for trading. Large ranges are awesome for trading. Tight ranges is what you don't want. So there's a link to all my investing resources right there. And if you're new to the Discord, right there as well. Click on that link. And the big macro ones that I'm looking for are the Market Wizards. Beautiful book for a macro perspective. Do we see a slight recovery? Right now, we're not getting it. We could, but I'm not seeing it right now. I love you, MF2. Done for the day, but we'll lurk around too big of a win to give it back. There you go. And thus it becomes lurking, Larry. Yeah. Don't give back profits. We've made a huge move here. There's no need to try to rush into stuff. The meme stocks are going nuts today. GameStop, AMC, Netflix, BBBBBY, they're all going nuts. All the meme stocks. Tesla, yeah, Tesla's a meme stock. So identifying a clear market direction, take advantage. Absolutely is ideal. Yeah, that's the best trades. How much does Bookmap cost? Anywhere from, it depends on which subscription you're going with, but the fees are about $33. And it all depends on which subscription you go for. I have the Global Plus. Just upgraded to Tier 2. Nope, you already got the access, Lebowski. You see that little star beside your name? That means you have Tier 2 access now. So you'll see the Tier 2 channels right down here. Big red candle, by the way. VIX is Spikeroni. Coming on down. I've got $34 on these trades. And I might go ahead and use this for an entry to get out. $34. Do not tease me again, jabroni. Yep. There it is. Do I see 4080 this week? If we see 4080 this week, then we'll see 4,000. It's just if we sell that much strength, down we go, people. Down we go. What a beautiful trade. God, this is amazing. I love. Oh, it just dumped a Ronied. It just dumped a Ronied. Macro level. Macro level. Warning. Warning. Return to Energizer. 36 dollar. Can I get 36? I'm gonna go with 35.80. 36. Boom. Filled. Out. $36. Completely out of the trade. 337%. By the way, I guess whatever the exit word is, banana. Mashed potatoes, whatever. Out. Avocado. There you go. Banana split. I'm split. Out. Pull up. Pull up. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. No. They do. They have terrain avoidance systems. If you start, and it has to do with your glide slope. You know, if you are pointed straight down in an aircraft doing, 8,000 feet, if you're going 1,000 feet a minute to the down, or 8,000 feet, and you hear that, I mean, the system will warn you. And not to mention the F-16s have the G-locks to keep you from G-locking yourself into the ground. It saves a lot of lives, actually. There's a great video about G-lock, about how the G-lock recovery system saved a couple of lives. Just joined. Nice, Cliff. Welcome. Nice call on the macro. I'm telling you, man. Macro levels. I'm out. What's the mountain goat doing in the clouds? Yeah. Did I hit my weekly goal? No, not on one trade. I mean, that was a great trade, but the trade was still too small to hit my weekly goal. But, I mean, it put a huge dent in it. That's for sure. Very rarely do I hit my weekly goal on one trade. I'd have to be playing pretty big to hit my weekly goal on one trade. Where can I DM me? You can shoot me a DM in the Discord. That's the best way to do it. Or you could email me, optionsmillionaire2020, but I'd prefer you DM me on the Discord. Yeah, we will need volume to get through the macro. Casseroni. Yeah, you gotta. I have to accept. Ask to be my friend first, and then you have to be my friend, and then I'll accept it, and then you could DM me. No, it ain't 100K. I wish my weekly goal was 100K. If I was making 100K a week, that would be incredible. I'm not that aggressive. You have to realize I'm a conservative player. I don't play aggressively. I'm not trying to sling 100K a week because it's not realistic. That sets myself up for failure. So I don't play aggressively at all. I keep things nice and easy. When you got into the 4170s, can I ask generally what your confidence on the trade was in terms of position sizing? It wasn't speculation because I saw the market dropping, so I would probably say moderately confident. Moderately confident. If you full ported the drop, you paid off the. Oh man, see, I can't think like that. Trust me, I have those thoughts, but I know not to do it, especially in this market. But I think that all the time. How many millions would I have if I full ported every day and got these big wins? Oh yeah, trust me. If I full ported, I would not be sitting here cool as a cucumber. I'd be bouncing all over the place. If I full ported, would I be able to spoof the line? I don't think so, because I think you need like 15, 20, 30 million to do that kind of stuff, and I don't have that kind of capital. I don't think like a million or two would do very much. It would barely show up. Let me look at the notional value on ES. Appreciate the work you're doing here. I'm a new trader and not profitable. Learned a lot from you. Oh, cool. Well, welcome. Welcome. What is full ported? When you take your entire portfolio and place it on one trade. It's not smart. And I would never, ever, ever recommend doing that. Not once. It's when you Leroy Jenkins your. Oh, there you go. Michael said it. Leroy Jenkins. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to use this opportunity to go eat some lunch. I'm starving. Absolutely starving. It's almost noon my time. It's 1 o'clock your time. That's assuming you're in Eastern. So, yeah, I will jump on. At the latest, it'll be about 5 minutes before power hour. If things start to getting a little more crazy, then I'll jump back on earlier or right after I eat and we'll finish trading. But I got to get some food in my stomach. So, yeah. Great morning. 330% win. Fantastic way to start the morning off, to start the week off. I hope you all learned a little something about why I take a trade, how long I hold, why I hold that long, what I'm looking at on my SR levels, macro levels, why I exited, all that kind of crap. So if you have any additional questions, please post them in the channel so everyone else can learn from the answer. Minimize the DMs if you can, unless you directly need something, because I get a crap ton of DMs every day. So, yeah, I will see you all a little later this afternoon on Discord only, not YouTube. And y'all have a good rest of the day. I'm out. See ya.